Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? It says I have a low network connection, which is weird because I'm not on
There you go. You're on.
Wi-Fi. Is I live?
Yeah, you're on.
I was having some connection problem, but I'm good now. So anyway, welcome to the Demetra K Show. I like to say hello to everybody. We've got a lot of cameras going on. Hello to Donovan's audience. He's also live.
Absolutely.
To YouTube. To those on the podcast, all two of you.
Hi, Tay!
And as always, to my live feed audience, I so appreciate everybody. I am here with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hands. Sadiq, he's always causing mischief and mayhem wherever he goes. And so as long as he's here with us today, you know where he's at and he's not causing anybody.
Right, I'm not in a function or any kind of edit.
Exactly.
And also, if you hear a lot of noise and a lot of airplanes, I live right by March Air Reserve Base. So that means the planes are we're right near the pattern, so they're flying at 200, 300 feet.
And why? Why are they doing that today?
We're having an air show.
There's an air show today, you guys, right? And Donovan lives right by the Air Force Base. So if y'all hear these big old airplanes and all that, it's an air show. So, just bear with us. I'll try to talk louder than them. Hey, Sydney, what's happening? And so, as always, it is the purpose of this show to promote love, knowledge, and understanding of the things that go on in our community to make us better. Now, without further ado, let's talk, y'all. So today's topic is Black people. We are responsible for each other. Now, I've been having a lot of conversations lately with different people in regards to Black people. Now, one of the conversations I had was with someone the other day, and he basically said, Black people, or he was saying, I don't understand why people stay in the hood. They should leave. And Donovan, I'm not talking about you. They were saying that they don't understand why people don't move out of the hood. Why don't they go somewhere where there's not a lot of, violence and things are poor mentally, physically, and, financially. Why not just go and move to a better place? Hey, Quentin, what's happening? Why not move somewhere different and better? And so then I thought, well, if everybody moves out of the hood, who is going to stay and improve the hood? Like, do we just abandon? Do we just jump ship? I mean, what do we do? At some point in time, we have to say, all right, it sucks here for whatever reasons. There's a lot of reasons, and, we can get into that as well.
But then some of us that do leave, we go and take the bullshit with us to another neighborhood and destroy that neighborhood. So what about
Sounds like you're taking that personally.
No, I'm not, because I stayed in my neighborhood.
Yeah, you did.
So.
And so if we're all leaving the neighborhood or the hood or the urban areas, however you want to call it, who's going to stay there to make sure that it gets better? Now, I want to read some of my notes because I took the time to write them, right? Okay, so somewhere down the slavery line, because a lot of times we say somewhere down the line, but we know this, ideology comes from slavery. We have been taught that we are not responsible for each other unless we were going to tell on somebody, like, hey, massa, such and such just got a, piece of chicken.
George Price is watching. Former Councilman Price is watching.
Hello, everybody. And so as soon as we could leave the plantation and ultimately our neighborhoods after segregation, we embrace individuality instead of embracing a collective. All right. Now, many of us have adopted the elitist attitude when it comes to each other. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that we look down on some of our own because we believe that they are less than us. Now, I'm saying we because I'm speaking of us as a whole. I'm not saying you, I'm not saying necessarily me. Okay, and then so we say things like, those Black folks. Well, I don't want to be around those Black people. And we say that as if we're not Black ourselves. Now, we would rather spend time talking about each other instead of helping each other and to take a step further, being responsible for each other. We're like, you know what? It's not my issue. It's not my child. I'm good over here, and, so I don't care, right? Mm-hmm. And then so, whether we like it or not, we are responsible for each other. And so, we ask the question, well, I asked the question, how? Now, I'm going to go step by step, and you guys please feel free to chime in, ask questions. whatever you want to do, we are here to dialogue. And so the first thing I said, as I was, said earlier that I was having a conversation with a friend about moving out of the neighborhood. Well, were people trying to move out of Rosewood, Florida? Were they trying to move out of Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street? We also have a black town, I don't know how thriving it is now in California, called Allensworth. Back then, were people trying to move away from there?
Well, we have a one called San Bernardino now.
Really?
Making a comeback. It's making a comeback.
You wildin'.
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino. And, to me, I mean, obviously we know the answer is no. But we were not trying to move away from each other and trying to separate each other because we were all we had. We had no choice. We had no choice but to get along and to, practice group/black economics. We had no choice. Plus, we were segregated. I mean, where else we were going to go? We had to work amongst ourselves. And so, in those towns, things were thriving. Had schools, businesses, hospitals. We had everything. We had no need to depend on anybody else for anything. And I would imagine, they may have some issues with crime, but they didn't have the issues that some neighborhoods are having now. I'd imagine as well, they policed each other. I don't know if they had a police force per se, but let's say the men, they were responsible in making sure that the neighborhood was safe and, things worked the way they were supposed to. But we know once the false idea of civil rights happened, we were integrated and we were told you are now free to move about the country. And so we had all of these things. I mean, we could go on forever building a list of why the neighborhood ended up the way it did. And so, Donovan, do you have anything to add to that while everybody's getting their comments together? I see a few on here.
Again, I'd have to agree when it comes to a situation to where, we had jobs, slavery ends, they throw us out there. It's just basic survival of the fittest, and we are survivors. I mean, they can cut our food stamps down to little or nothing, and we're still going to make it work. It's just our natural instinct to survive.
But like, how do we move? I mean, and I know, there's a lot of systemic and institutional racism, but how did we as a people go from knowing that we didn't have those things to, here we are now dependent upon those things? I mean, we've seen a lot of the videos to where, just to use your example, God forbid, food stamps, car get cut off or something, people are losing their minds, and it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Well, okay, let me try to get this where people can relate to it. It's like a animal. You got a wild animal. Once you domesticate it, it loses its natural survival.
You ain't likening black people to wild animals.
No, not at all. But I'm just saying that's just people in general. And again, our system of once they got us, the welfare and put us in that system, and we wanted to be dummycrats and all that other crap.
Right.
It just dumbed us down to where we can't survive for ourselves. They took our instincts of survival away because now we're dependent.
So would you say, and I'm going to get to you guys' questions in just a second.
Hey, Shantae.
Would you say that's why we, that's partially why we stopped being responsible for each other?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly, when we let the government come into our homes and tell us what to do, how to raise our children, they pick our leaders. Right now, the Democratic Party hasn't told you who you're going to be voting for. This is the system we get.
Right. And let's see, let me get to some of these comments. And Sydney says, what's up? He says, glad to see you are not in Gitmo, Donovan. I don't know why he would be there. Is there something I need to know?
I almost choked.
Am I rolling with somebody I need to know
about
Sydney?
but guess what, Sydney? I will be going back to, well, not back. I'll be going to, I did go to Vietnam.
He's going to Vietnam to see if he has some
I did go there for the MIA reparations back in 1996. I flew through, but I couldn't get off the airplane, whatever. and we just drop the people off. But I will be going back in May for my birthday, so to see if I got any siblings and cousins and things like that. So
and Quentin says, "Hello, Dee. What's happening, Quentin? Haven't seen you in a while, or how have I?"
Yeah, just want to make me chill.
And then Sydney says, "Wow, we need to move back to the hood." Okay, so I want to ask you, Sydney, why do you say we need to move back to the hood? I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. And Al says, "Looking good as always." Well, thank you, baby.
Okay, Al, get that joke of the day ready. Get that joke of the day.
And Ustinov, I hope I didn't jack that up. Your last name is Jackson as well. You said we need to buy our community and build and support our own community. Absolutely. And Billy, you say hello. And then you also, Ustinov says, they destroyed the civil rights movement with the women's movement and destroyed the black family. Well, and I always say this too, that while the civil rights era or movement or whatever you want to call it gave us some rights, it didn't really take us where we needed to go. I mean, it told us you can now move away from your people and go be with people who don't want you necessarily to be around them. You are able to now go eat and drink with them and do all this other stuff. You can go move into the neighborhoods, and that's truly where the black neighborhood started to dilapidate when we started to say, okay, you know what, I'm going over to that neighborhood. And then we also know the term that you often use, white flight, took place. Because they're like, okay, y'all moving over here, but we moving away from you.
Right.
You know?
Right. And then now they moved away from us, and then we followed them out to the suburbs, and guess where the white folks going now?
Right, back to
the hood.
They're like, well, since y'all don't want to be there no more,
right.
That's the term we call gentrification.
Exactly.
That's another thing, we can discuss. And Demetrius, your name is so much closer to mine. Yes. Such great names.
Devontae.
No. No. And he said, remember, speaking to each other was love. What's up? What it is?
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? Yeah.
Bring it back, brother. There it is.
Yeah, but now it's like,
What you looking at, nigga? Get out my pocket! Get out my pocket, nigga!
What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
I'm actually getting some Courvoisier. No, that's great.
I need to see what's in his cup, y'all. He's wilding already.
Hey, Tammy.
And Tony, you say, Professor K. You know what? Thank you. I received that. And Demetrius, you also say, illusion of inclusion better than what exactly, and that's exactly what civil rights was. The illusion of inclusion, which that was all by design. Listen, they finna turn up in a minute. They're practicing group economics. They really don't need us. They got their own communities. In the true sense of a community, because Dr. Claude Anderson says that black people, we truly don't have communities. We just live in neighborhoods. A community is conducive.
Right. People
it's
know
spending
each other.
Right. They know each other. They're spending money with each other. We
helping
love
each other.
and all of that. So we don't truly have communities. And so he also says that's another reason why a lot of black businesses fail, because black businesses are on this side of town, that side of town, over here. But in other communities, like an Asian community, a Hispanic community, they have all their businesses concentrated in one area. So if you want to go to a beauty salon, Lupita has one, and then, okay, you know what? I need to go to the store and get me some taco stuff. I'm going to go up the street. Then you know what? I got to go, dang. And, Demetri K's barbecue joint is 10 miles away from the house. Okay, let's go over there. Everything. So we don't really have a community per se.
I want to bring up, too, has anybody noticed, some of the listeners out there and people watching, the media's been talking about the MLK thing.
Oh yeah, the 50 years.
Yeah, in the 50 years. You saw all the handkerchief heads come out. Jesse, Reverend Al Sharp, all the traitors come out. And they even say Jesse might have had a part.
Oh yeah.
In MLK's death.
Yeah, a lot of conspiracy about that.
So, but and then here's this guy who's been Jesse's just been dogged out. A daughter out of wedlock. His kids have gone to jail.
He went missing, didn't he?
Yeah, you know what I mean. And now, they pull him out of the closet. Oh yeah, MLK, and they're doing all this other stuff.
Right.
But what they don't report is, like you said at the end days, and I researched this when you said that, because I kind of heard about that, where he was like, I led my people into a trap, where he was becoming more radical and saying this ain't working.
He was off script.
Right. He was like, this is not working.
Absolutely. So. And Allie says, I'm taking the girls home, but not back to the hood. Well, lucky
there you go. There you go.
And Cindy says, we become successful. We leave to be around them. The neighborhoods go down. We follow them, and white folks leave. Exactly. That's what we were just talking about. migrate to their neighborhood, and then they
go to the
take
suburbs.
off. They're like, yeah, it's nice knowing you, you know. There's that whole, well, we like the separate but equal thing, you know.
So do I.
Yeah. And then, right, and Cindy said, you need to relax, okay? You was taking some swings or whatever's in that bottle. But Houston O says, you are telling the truth. Yes, and Cindy, as to your point, we need to buy the block. I mean, it's like, I get it. I'm not saying that, you know, it's a good thing or, you know, fabulous to live where there's violence. I'm not saying that. I don't think that I know I wouldn't want to live where violence is prevalent. But at some point in time, we got to start solving that because, okay, we move. Thank you. Donovan sees that I start sweating and it's like it's a wrap.
That's because she's sitting next to me. That's all that is. But go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, we start moving. Then to Donovan's earlier point, you start taking that with you wherever you move. So at some point in time, we got to start fixing it and start saying, okay, we need to take it back to where, you know, grandma and your auntie and, you know, the kids can be outside playing and walking down the street without fear of being harmed. We need to take it back to that. And so, just my personal answer, I don't think we need to start moving out of the neighborhoods. In fact, my daughter and I are talking about buying some property, and I said, you know what, we need to go to the neighborhood per se and buy something there, whether it's a rental property or a business or something. Let's not get into the ideology of, you know what, we're not gonna move over there. We got to start embracing our people.
Any property is good property.
Right.
So you can own any land. Hey, Kai and my other little cousin that want to go on the show.
Donovan's also live too.
Yeah. So I got a lot of family members. Hello, everybody. But I want to get my one younger cousin, Kai. She is the truth. Come on the show. She is the truth. I've been trying to get her. Our schedules aren't driving. When we get her on the show, she's gonna be real.
Come on with it. And then Cindy also say $3,500 for an apartment in Brooklyn. Is this what? How many? Like 10 bedrooms? How many? How many bedrooms are in this apartment for $3,500?
That's a 1-bedroom in East Brunswick apartment complex.
And we talking Brooklyn. Brooklyn. I remember one time when I was in New York. I was coming from Manhattan. I was staying with a friend in Manhattan, and we wanted to go to Harlem, so we had to pass through the 5 boroughs, I think it was. And so the message,
which is a segregated area.
Yeah, but in the on the subway, the message in Manhattan was nice and friendly and stuff. And as you're getting ready to go to the 5 boroughs,
it's saying, questions.
You know, you guys now make sure you watch your wallets and your purses and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, damn, you ain't even gonna like ease us into it. You letting us know that you're possibly going in. I don't know who that was for. Yeah, I guess they figured you going from Manhattan, you must, you know, maybe be white or something, so, you know, protect your neck when you're going out there.
Hey, I got a question. Okay. Well, I got a statement from council candidate Shalinda Jones, and she's saying that gentrification is real.
It's absolutely real, but we keep, and thank you for that, we keep falling for the banana and the tailpipe. I'm going to move away from the hood. You know, it's all this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, well, eventually y'all keep moving out. They gonna come in and, you know,
and jack the prices
up the prices, and you put a Whole Foods in there, some Starbucks and all this other stuff. You know, M&M Soul Food is gonna be a thing of the past, and all of that.
A true story. If you come to LA right now and you go to Compton, even the Compton from the NWA days, you will be surprised at how many white people are walking around in the Compton, Florence, Carson area.
Where a house in Compton was going for like $1 million. It's
yeah,
like,
matter of fact, my cousin Kai, she actually lives in the original Compton area where the
$1
white
million house in Compton?
Yeah.
And I saw the house too.
It's a small little cookie cutter house.
It wasn't on Friday. Anything spectacular at all.
It's like those ones on Friday.
I was like, surely this is a mistake.
Nope.
And so, Al, you said there was an episode of Good Times where JJ was going to take his girlfriend to a debutante ball, and her parents decided, let's see, her parents decided from going with him, decided her from going with him because he was from the ghetto.
From the hood, yeah.
But James let
them know, this is how I'm going to get my son out.
Oops. It wants me to
show them the paintings.
I'm trying to see more, but it wanted me to block out.
What you think I want? What you think you want for my son, man?
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
It says, but James let the man know, don't you come from, you think he messed up, don't you come from, don't forget where you come from, and once you get out, don't forget about the people that were left behind. Yeah, I saw that episode as well.
I don't want to think nothing about the ghetto no more.
But, you know, there's a lot of people who think like that. I don't want, and we're going to get into that in my other points, you know, I don't want to talk to people from over there and, oh, those people.
Sure.
And then one of these days, you guys, because I'm doing a lot of research now, we're going to talk about the boule. Some of you guys are familiar with the boule. We are going to...
The bootleg? You damn right. I'm familiar with the bootleg.
Boule.
The boule. Oh,
we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Because, it kind of ties into it, but it's a little too deep for today.
Right.
And,
Real quick for those that are watching, what you're seeing right now, we are encapsulated in a green screen. So if you've been watching a lot of our videos, the green screen is what they use in Hollywood when we do the special effects and we put things behind us. So the key to the green screen is having plenty of light. You can do it on a blue screen, you can do it on a red screen, you can do it on a black screen. You just got to have the right software.
Yeah, we're not on Mars.
Yeah, so if you're kind of wondering what are we doing in this box, that's what it is.
Right. So. And then, let's see. Oops, did I miss a comment? And then, Sydney, you say, I was shocked last week. White folks walking outside Marcy Projects. Oh, Lord. Now they about to take over the Carter, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a gold mine. If you can get that. Think about it. Dirt cheap. And then put high
But, again, we want to move away from that. You know, instead of being responsible for each other and saying, okay, enough running. Enough trying to get away from each other. We need to start figuring out how to make it work because we're already separated enough.
Well, think about this, Dee. Okay, we are in my family home right now. If my mother purchased this home in the 1980s, it's an older home, whatever the deal is. But because this house is purchased and paid for, you know, or whatever our situation is, it enables me and my family to do other things.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we stayed put.
Right.
But, you know, the neighborhood has changed.
But let me ask you this, though.
Okay.
If it was, you know, a neighborhood like one in Chicago or some in Louisiana, would you guys have stayed?
Yes, with our mentality, yeah.
You would have stayed?
Yeah,
okay.
because what it is everybody got caught up with trying to stay with the Joneses.
No, I'm talking about if all the violence and, you know, the drugs and all that, would you have stayed?
Yes, because, you know, I got a lot of guns, too, so I will handle that. No.
Shoot them up?
No. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad...
Okay, corral?
Yeah, I don't mean that in a bad sense, but, when you don't have men standing up in the neighborhood like it used to be in the old days... defending that you couldn't in my dad's day they didn't have guns, they fought with their hands, but you just couldn't walk up in the neighborhood and you're not from there, somebody might challenge you. Right, exactly. So for me, as you see on my cul-de-sac here, I'm the block captain.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you just come up in here and do what you want to do.
I've seen you in action.
You see me in action. Okay. There it is.
Hey, Craig. You say we need to stop spreading out and concentrate on one area at a time, and we need to stop the jealousy, that getting over on each other attitude, and unite. No, absolutely. And I wish I would have read your point before I said that. We need to stop spreading out and saying, I'm getting away from you, I'm getting away from you. Oh, those black people over there. Oh, I can't stand black people. It's like, well, what are you?
Right.
I mean, sometimes we say that as if, you know, like I said earlier, we're not black. I mean, I've even heard people say, you know, once I've taken my child out of the ghetto school, they started to speak better. And I'm like, well, I don't know how much they had to do with the school, but you as the parent should be more influential over your child in any school system. Right. So if your children weren't speaking proper English, whatever that is, that's your fault.
Right, exactly.
As I say, yo, and not yours.
Yeah, and the sad thing is when you approach these parents and say how much time do they read to their children, they can't even answer it.
Right, exactly, or even speak to them. And Sydney, you say just chilling in Bed-Stuy. Really, Sydney, I don't think you really love that too much.
Yeah, I mean, at one time in this neighborhood, there was a bunch of, it's a military community. There was a bunch of black people, but they're getting older and they're moving on and stuff like that.
Right.
I've actually witnessed this whole neighborhood turn Hispanic.
I've seen a lot of neighborhoods do that. Yeah. And then you also say gentrification, get your black ass out. Right. I mean, especially if you're jacking up the apartments to $3,500. And to your point, collectively, we've got a lot of money, but as we know,
we're spending it on the wrong things.
Yeah, we don't keep the money. We don't pool the money with each other to where we can afford an apartment for $3,500. That shouldn't. I mean, $1.3 trillion that come into the black community every year, and we're having a hard time, affording a $3,500 apartment. It shouldn't be that way. And it used to we say we need to start building safer neighborhoods, gated communities, on an investment company called, he said, I own an investment company called Black Wall Street, and we buy property in the hood and building every year. That's exactly right.
Right. No, I agree with him. Now, where is he from? Particularly, is it New York?
Where are you from? Where exactly are you from?
Because I can tell you, we do the same thing here. And we call it the Carter over here when you enclose these black people in a neighborhood because it's just...
Well, that's not owned by us, though.
Right, okay.
You know, that's just a
that's
place
owned by
to live.
Habib and those guys.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just, and we can have them all concentrated over that area. We know where they are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So where are you from, Houston? And Cynthia, what's happening? It says no shooting in neighborhoods since mothers set up. And it's a website that I have to check out somewhere in Inglewood. So I'm assuming that's some sort of a program or something. That's awesome. Hey, Secret Guard, you say stay the course, brother. I think you saw what, I don't know what that means.
That's right.
But something we were talking about, and then we over-talked it. So Sydney says, actually, they're putting flats outside of the projects. They are building the flats while we are still in the project. But what I hear when you say that is they're starting to run circles around us while we're motionless, doing the same things. You know, on payday, we get our check.
Go get our drink.
Go and spend all but 3% of our money with somebody else. And that somebody else are the people. I'm sorry, I'm freezing up a little bit. That somebody else are the people who are building around us, who are eventually going to come into the neighborhood and says, oh, well, you weren't using that.
Right.
Well, we'll take that. And I think we need a Whole Foods in there, you know?
Right. Mr. Moreno Valley, Daryl Terrell says, here's something to think about. Some older generations say that young generations should wait their time.
Wait their time to do what? That's what I want to know.
To take over the land or the money. And that's what we talked about. You got Al Sharpton, all these handkerchief heads that they just won't leave.
Well, I think anybody with any, and thank you for that, Daryl, anybody with any common sense will know that you can't keep applying old ways. Not saying that the old ways weren't effective back then, but you can't keep applying old ways to new ways of doing things. That's like saying, well, you know what? In my day, we used the phone book, and we're going to keep using this phone book. Why, Grandma?
Right.
We got Google.
Right. Or or a better example right now. My mom is in a federal job, and she's been grandfathered. My mom only has a high school diploma.
Right.
And she's getting her degree. Don't get me wrong. She's getting her degree right now. But for that job now, you need a bachelor's degree.
Right.
See, so it's like they...
And that's true for a lot of jobs.
You know, I mean, it's like they grandfathered themselves in. It's like, well, I didn't need it, but you do.
And I ain't going nowhere. Wait your turn. And then Al says, our love for you, baby, is overflown more than a trash can. He said, my love for you, baby, is overflown more than the trash can in the ghetto. You know what? We're not going to have no ghetto jokes, okay? But thank you. And Sydney says, it's not worth $3,500. I bet. I mean, what could be...
No, but what can you do? You need a place to live.
I mean, most people mortgages aren't $3,500 on average. Golly, and that's a pretty good sized house.
But slaves need a place to live. And so what can you do?
No, the issue is when they raise the rent to $3,500, they know that on average, because we don't amass wealth as black people, on average, most black people can't afford to live there. So who can afford to live there?
You got to go.
You're right. You got to go, and then we start with whitening up the neighborhood.
Right. For those that are listening that are
he's from Detroit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got to buy some property up there, boy. There's fire sales up there.
Yeah, exactly.
But for those that aren't from California, okay, everybody talks about the Bush tax cuts or the Trump tax cuts. Okay, you give a little $15 extra in your paycheck. we just got our average gas right now is $3.56.
And you guys, I forgot to show you guys Donovan.
Don't get scared. Don't get scared. I know I'm not the best looking guy, but our gas out here, the cheapest gas you can get is $3.56.
I know.
Now, how is that?
I found a cheaper place.
Oh, did you? But you got to drive to it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's okay.
So these little raises that they do, conducive to your neighborhood. I mean, how can you afford to live there if they just keep putting it on you and putting it on you and putting it on you?
That's the point.
Exactly.
Get out.
Get out.
And let's see.
Oh, my aunt's watching it.
What's happening, El Malik? You said that's how it is in Minnesota. Yes, you know, y'all get out of here now. We're gonna take it over.
Right. Good luck. Right now in California here, you've got apartments that have 2 and 3 generations of cousins and Ray, Pookie, Neckbone, Tyrone, and whoever else living in there, and the cops are there busting heads every week.
Right. Every week. I mean, it's just we have to. Again, we are responsible for each other whether we like it or not. And then Sydney says, exactly, that's what I was saying, the running circles on us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're just, hey, you know, day in, day out, we're going to continue, you know, doing the same thing. He keeps repeating $3,500 a month. And Senior Guardian says, old leadership will leave. Give them a monthly stipend. Right.
Yeah, and they take it to the casino down the street.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
You speaking to somebody personally.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonelle, what's happening? You said it's the hate that hate produced. Our self-hate is regulated and invested in. If we had self-love, we would build up our communities and make them heaven on earth. We focus on our own elevation instead of, instead of running from our own people while being prey to our own degradation. We don't destroy what we love. Our war is against our own ignorance, our self-love is for the win-win. No, absolutely. I mean, to Sydney's analogy of, you know, them building houses around them, it's like most people probably aren't even aware of that.
Yeah.
That's going on. You know, but once you educate yourself and take a step back, you're like, whoa.
But they're aware about the NBA Finals and LeBron James. They're aware about the Atlanta Housewives, Love and Hip Hop.
Can't be worried
Cardi
about that kind
B.
of stuff.
You know, let me ask you this real quick. Since we're talking about black people, we are responsible for each other. Recently in the news, there was a picture that you showed me where a young lady was headed to the prom. D, you're a mom yourself. What did you take out of that picture? We're going to talk about being responsible because this is what I said. Everybody comes down on me because I'm always talking about black women, black women, black women. Who the hell else am I supposed to hold responsible?
Hold that question because that's going to fit into something else that I have. Hey, Richard, what's happening? Says Costco is a few cents cheaper. Yes, but then you got to get the Costco card. I'm telling you, I found some gas that's like $14. I mean, $14. 14 cents cheaper. I ain't telling nobody. Okay. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. All right.
And Allie says, yes, please stop applying old ways to new ways. Quit giving these kids ghetto names that they can't spell or pronounce.
Thank you.
Wait, hold up. I'm going to defend that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? Okay, admittedly, some of the names are like, whoa. But so what? So what we give our kids unique names.
But here's the problem, though. That those unique names are being used to identify that's a black person.
That's fine.
In the application.
You know what? I'm going to tell you why that's fine. You can name your child Aquanetta, Mukwikwi, or whatever. It's because if black people were operating with group economics and we had our own,
it wouldn't have mattered, right?
We wouldn't have to say, well, you know I named you Boom Kwikwi, but let's call you Keisha for short.
Right.
So, you know, put that on your job application so that could be friendly to white people.
Sure.
That wouldn't matter if we were in control of our own stuff.
I hate you. Stop dropping this knowledge.
I'm just saying.
Stop dropping the knowledge.
Because we're not in control.
We want to be entertained.
No, we're not entertaining. Am I entertaining y'all? Okay. But no, I mean, I don't have a problem with you naming your child something unique.
Right.
The problem that I do have is that, to Donovan's point, because you have named them something unique and you don't practice group economics, you do set that child up for failure when they go off, let's say graduate college, or go try to get a job because, like you said, they're identified, oh no, she must be ghetto.
Yeah, that must be a black person.
Oh, that's a black person. So yeah, until we get our own, that's going to be an issue. And then he says, and they change the laws to get you out, i.e. I go to, or for example, rather, I go to see you, I get arrested, do you have 30 days to get out too? Yeah. Wow. And then El Maliki says, we need more sisters, people like you in our communities. You know what?
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I'm going to say this right now. I appreciate that. And I just like to always tell this to people. I wasn't always where I am as far as knowledge. I'm always seeking knowledge. But that's why I do this. If it was just one person on here,
absolutely,
I would do it because we are helping each other. I learn from you guys all the time, so I thank you. And that is my goal, is to, you know, help everybody else start thinking along these lines. I don't do it for the fame.
Right. Shantae says there is a huge difference between ethnic names and hood names. We need to give our children proud names, not after cars, liquor, or some mess you throw together because it's cute.
Well, I mean, I guess I just never really have a dog in the fight as to what people call their own kids. You can call your child whatever you want, but again, we know why we do that. Okay, we know why we name ourselves or our kids different things like Buick, or maybe not Buick, but Lexus. Or we know why we do that, because we have no knowledge of self or where we came from. And so if we did, we would be naming ourselves Afrocentric names and things like that.
I just think it's ironic that you got these fools running around with tattoos of Nike and all these things that people ain't paying them.
No knowledge of self. We try to build an identity on things that already have a high profile in hopes of making us high profile instead of getting proper knowledge of self.
And I hate these women that, they name their children these great names. Don't get me wrong. And I'm with Shantae with that, where they name them these great names and the kids ain't shit.
Wow.
I hate that.
Well, what they supposed to name them?
Well, what I'm saying, if you're going to name a kid El Malik or, whatever, and you're letting the kid go out there and not hold him accountable when he's out there smoking weed or he's robbing people, whatever, there's a whole bunch of people in prison that have these great names.
But maybe that child will overcome his circumstances and go on to be great things on his own.
Very true, but the majority of them don't do that. They grew up, they ain't shit. Look, there was a movie that came out 27 years ago. He ain't shit, because I ain't shit.
My apologies, y'all. Okay. Hey, James.
You gotta believe it doesn't come free. You gotta be.
Hand me your bottle. Hand me your bottle. Okay. This is what I think there's a little Henny in there or something, or some liquid crack or something. James, it says DC is the best example. We called it Chocolate City back in the day.
Oh, Baltimore, yes.
And Dr. Claude Anderson talks about Chocolate City a lot, saying that it was the blackest place on earth, but now it's starting to turn into Carmel City.
That's right.
They're
moving us out here.
to Toffee or whatever, Mocha, I don't know, city.
Yep.
And Richard says, I'm late. Are you discussing universal basic income? I'm not. Richard has invited me on his podcast for this Thursday, so perhaps we can discuss universal basic income then.
Okay, I'll be good.
And then you also say DC is milk chocolate now. See, that should have read. And then El Malika says, we love you. I love you too. And Al says, if a man dumps a girl that lives in the hood with a ghetto booty, that is leaving her behind, no pun intended. Get out of here with all of that.
Yes. Write this down in a book. We need to put this stuff in a book.
He's now a paid writer. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't tell me that.
He's a paid writer.
On.
Yes.
Right on, bro.
And I can tell you more about it later. And Sydney says, no, they act dumb and shit. I am over here looking at a gift with my face for my facial expressions. So they being the people who are gentrifying the neighborhood, like who, me? Am I doing?
Yes.
We're just coming over here to see if you guys can use a Starbucks.
Right. And what's killing me is a lot of those people that are gentrifying the neighborhood are Asian. They're everything but us.
Well, because they got the resources to do that. I mean, you got the money, hell.
But I'm just saying,
I got the money.
I'm outraged, that's happening, and we have $1.3 trillion. We
got to start educating ourselves. It's our responsibility to do that.
Yes.
And El Malik, you say, who's right? Are you saying Donovan's right? And then Sydney says, I'm teaching a mini mogul club with unique names to create their own economy. My youngest biz owner is 9 years old. I know that's right. See, we need more sisters like Cynthia
right on.
who are teaching that. And a lot, because 9, some people say, well, that's too young. Let them be a child. Let them know it ain't too young, because there's other, groups of people who are teaching their kids that from the cradle.
Out the gate.
Okay? And then El Malik, you also say, that's like me naming my little one Newport. Really? Surely you jest. And then Cindy says, if I can't pronounce your name, I'm not dating you. I have to give you a nickname because I can't pronounce your name. No hood names. Well, I still gonna give y'all some pushback on that. Because listen, my name is Demetra. I can't help that my mama named me that. Can that person help that they was named Aqua Boom Boom? Or as Donovan says, Shaquaqua. Is that her fault? She might be a really great person. Just to ask her to teach you how to pronounce it. She might, you never know.
I got an answer to that.
Sister.
I have an answer to that since we're out here helping folks. If you have been named a
now
child,
y'all getting on. I see these comments. Go ahead.
If you have been named a ghetto name, when you come of age, go to the courts and petition to change your name to a name that you like. How about that?
Again, if we had our own courts and our own stuff, you don't have to petition.
Right.
You can name it, whatever you wanted to. Left shoe if you wanted to. And oh God, Al says orange and green are not for a woman's hair. Shut up, Donovan. Shut your mouth. Okay? Don't you amen this? Don't you say nothing.
I'm gonna be over here. Be good.
Okay?
I'll be good.
And Cindy says, hold it. I thought your state can smoke legally. Yeah. California, unless they change the law.
Yes, you can still smoke. You can smoke legally, which is no different than smoking or taking prescription medicine. You can't drive in your car with it. You can't walk out in the street with it. You got to do it behind. You still got to do it behind closed doors.
I think they should really spread that memo because the other day I was walking at the park and I took a toke that I didn't mean to take. I mean, these people out there smoking marijuana was just whoosh. I'm like, am I high? Because I've never been high, so I didn't know if I was high or not. Yeah,
but to me, they wrote that rule to lock up more Black and Hispanic people who are going to be smoking the stuff anyway.
You can't break the rules if you don't know them.
Right, exactly. So.
Hey, Ruben, he says, when you own your own business, it doesn't matter what your name is. You better tell them.
There it is.
That's right.
There it is.
It don't matter what your name is. It don't matter how you wear your hair. Like, I know, I've worked in corporate America before, and I wore my hair natural, and I assimilated, y'all. Yes, I did. I'm not proud.
You got to get in and infiltrate.
I assimilated. This is back in the day, though.
Yeah,
okay?
but you got to infiltrate.
I put some permanent on my dude to fit in. I'm not proud of that. I'm just being honest.
Now, was that a mental thing? Like, where you just felt...
because I needed a job.
Okay,
I needed to pay some bills.
Right, okay. and unfortunately, a lot of us are in a situation where you have to do that.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but it did.
Yeah, and that's okay.
I wouldn't do it now, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's a legitimate thing to do when you got to survive.
Yeah, but again, if one of my brothers or my sisters, or I have my own business, they'd be like, girl, you can come in here with dreads all the way down the street if you want to. Just get the job done, big ups and all of that. And Emily says, hey, that's my name, LOL, but I get his point. What name did you say that, I don't remember. He said that was, because you said El Malik. I'm so behind in the comments. Let me catch up, y'all. And
it's the art of code switching.
Oh, okay. And then Jonelle says, we groom our children for the distraction in life instead of the production, the business mind, the elevation of life. We don't give our children the Black dream, independent of the American dream. And let's see. And we give our children the sports, the rap, but not the thought to be the pilot, the scientist, etc. So the great name on the child is the block. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I'm giving my daughter, which her name is a mixture of me and her dad's, I don't know how great that is.
Wait, Deanna Kane?
No, not Deanna Kane.
No, Kane.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Biz Markie now. Yeah. That looks like Biz Markie now. Okay, thank God he doesn't watch the show. He went from Big Daddy Kane to Biz Markie, like literally.
At least he's taking the Juice Crew.
I don't claim him. I'm just playing. But no, absolutely. If we're going to give our children those type of names, we should groom them for greatness. Right. Even if your child's name is Sally, we should groom them for greatness. Just plain and simple, And yeah, there's nothing like having a name like Nefertiti. And it's like, and you hear, welcome to the stage, Nefertiti. And, she's clicking her stripper heels up and down the pole.
Yeah, I have friends, that she named her son Zaire or something. And, Zaire's a great nation, in Africa.
Is he a great child?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. Yeah.
And Sydney says, now Carmel City is turning white.
Oh,
DC is about to become Harlem. Yes, and I'm still upset about that. Yeah. How y'all let Harlem go like that?
Yep.
How y'all let that happen?
I mean, when I went to DC, I used to fly into Andrews Air Force Base. And we used to go down to Baltimore. I had never seen that Riverwalk there, and you saw Black people holding hands. And, walking and look like they're in love. See, because in California, love here is we kick you down the stairs, talk about, hey, girl.
I don't want that kind of love.
But that's, that thug loving,
I don't want that.
But over there, it was just beautiful. I mean, big ups to Chocolate City.
Big ups to Chocolate City. We can turn it back chocolate, can't we? And then Secret Garden says, good neighborhoods begin with good families unite. Absolutely. Then we know there's not really a lot of, families per se in the neighborhoods, and we need to get back to that. We need to get back to being a family. And used to know, let me know if there's some comments over there. Used to know, you say Black people will never prosper until they find their true identity. Most teach their kids about slavery, but not about African history. Most will never research, but will believe that they were taught what they were believed through K through 12. Absolutely. Like I said, when your child goes to school, that should be an enhancement, or they should be able to debunk what the teacher is saying by saying, nope, that ain't what I learned. My mama said A, B, C, and D, and the kings and the queens and all this stuff, but you're absolutely right. Black people didn't start at slavery. We were so much more before that. And then Alex says,
and we'll be right back.
Parents shouldn't give their kids ghetto names or ghetto nicknames because it hurts them in the long run. If they have a ghetto name, once they become an adult, it would be incumbent all of them, to change it. I don't know. I just see that a little bit differently. I mean, we did our own. You can name your child whatever you want to name it. Like, why doesn't anybody tell somebody from Arabic origins to change their name to something that's pronounceable? You know? Or how come nobody tells Asian people, well, you know what? Ming doesn't really sound all that American. You should probably change it to Nancy or Mary. How come nobody tells them to do that? Or how come nobody ever tells Guadalupe? You know, that's kind of, you know, you might need to Americanize. How come nobody ever tells them to do that? I'm waiting for somebody to answer that question. And Sydney says, I'm not mad though. We need a job. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I was like, should I get mild or extra strength?
Right.
You know, I need to lay this hair down. And Houston always says, most black families are in financial slavery. You drive through the hood, you see 745 Benz, Range Rovers, and no grass or screen doors. I just got a visual of that.
Yeah.
You
rims.
know, it's just like...
You got the Cutlass with the big $5,000 rims on them and stuff. The rims are worth more than the damn car. Right.
But that's not practicing group economics. That's like saying, I want you to see me.
Well, here's what I don't understand. And most likely the kid that owns that car still is at home with mama.
Well, it's not probably the kids, it's probably the mama.
Well, okay, but still, but I'm just saying, like I said, group economics, you got all these people in this home that are working or doing something together. The kids have age to work, and yet they don't do it.
Well, yeah, that's not practicing group economics. Everybody needs to be working conducively in the household. To be building outward, okay? We all live here. We're pooling our resources together. Now let's figure out how to buy this business. Let's figure out how to keep our money.
Oh, no, Mama, because then that way you'll still be in control. And I'm doing all the work. I can't do that, Mama.
Well, that's your mama's fault for raising you to think that way in the first place.
Gotcha.
And so, Richard, I don't know why I start to freeze up. He said, I had a professor at Cal State University of Long Beach who lamented that a name like mine doesn't distinguish who you are. The unique names do. However, I do think names associated with Africa would show more of a sense of connection with the past. Absolutely. But a lot of people don't know that. So they're like, well, shoot, I'm going to name my child ukulele or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you this from a real world experience. I sat on a lot of pilot boards in the Air Force Reserves, and I'm going to tell you and not just me, but my cohorts that were on the board, they specifically targeted those applications that had those names, and they had no chance in hell of getting past that board.
But again, if you had your own board, the black board, then come on over, boom, Keisha.
Well, no, I mean, we were talking about military.
No, I get it.
But to go through that training, and a lot of young black people were denied things. You're dealing with a lieutenant colonel that was born in the '60s. That was probably a racist himself.
Probably.
So
he is a racist.
And I'm going to tell you, I was up there fighting. If a white guy came and applied, I would say, no, we don't need more white people because statistically most flying squadrons in the military are 96% white Caucasian males.
Right.
And I would get all the back kick off the guys on the board. But then when I'm out there doing my job, the regular Negroes are looking at me because I'm an officer like I'm the sellout, but they don't realize I'm up there fighting for them.
You didn't sell out a little bit? I'm just playing.
No, I didn't. I didn't compromise who I was.
I'm glad. So you say. I'm just playing. And El Malika says, as long as it's not Becky.
What's wrong with Becky with the good hair? Whatever good hair is.
I mean, I'm Demetra K with the good hair.
Right.
What's good hair?
I don't know. I don't know. What did I say the thing? Tamara Braxton looks beautiful now.
With the ball. I don't like the bald head on her.
No, I mean, you can, her face comes out, but what I'm saying, as her hair gets a little longer, she looks better than she did. I'm going to tell you that.
Okay.
So.
And then Sydney says, why she got to be a stripper? I'm just saying, listen, there's nothing like Nefertiti coming to the stage and on the pole.
Coming to the stage.
It's kind of a conflict, you know? And then Jonelle says, now coming to the stage, Mary, not the mother of Jesus. Right, you know. And then you say, Al says, you went from Big Daddy Kane and John B. to Elder Bars. Hey. Shelly, what's happening? You said they do. Vaughn, you said, hey, D, what's happening? And Cindy says, we do not take care of the brownstones even after they give us money to build them up and we destroy it. So Rudy Giuliani, a.k.a. Fulani.
Fulani, yeah.
Sold, you said Fiolani, whatever that means. He says, sold the brownstones in Harlem for $1 in a lottery. You said in the lottery system. Guess who won the lottery system? And that's how Harlem turned white. Ooh, I'm so like. Why did we allow that? Harlem, it was like the mecca of black just excellence.
That goes back to what you were saying. When we don't teach our children that next generation, what are we teaching them now? See what I'm saying?
Jeez, that's very sad.
Very
I will
sad.
cry, but I'm a gangster. I don't want y'all to see me cry.
Yeah.
And then used to know, if you say they tried growing up with a name like used to know, it was hell, but I love it now. Well, believe it or not, even my grandparents, my grandmothers, they didn't call me Demetra. They call me Demetrius, or you know, I get people. Hey, I just answer. You know.
Hey, you.
Yeah. Hey, you, child. You know. Hey, you know.
Get your little brother. Pick up Professor Smitty.
Al says the other races have those names because they know who they are and their history, and we have those ghetto names because we just don't care and think it's cute.
No, I care.
The first part of your statement is true, is because they know who they are. I wouldn't say that we don't care. We are just the people that are disconnected from who we were. Like, do we truly know exactly what part of Africa we were from? We don't know what names we would have had, you know. So I don't think it's that we don't care. We just don't know, you know. Like my name is of a Greek origin. Although it does mean goddess, so, you know, I'm grateful for that. I'm just kidding. I don't know what my parents were thinking, but whatever. I answered to it anyway. And then Al, you say, there was a Living Color episode where Jamie Foxx and Al Bundy were on a game show trying to spell ghetto names. I truly believe
I heard that.
Keenan Ivory was trying to make a point.
It's called The Dozens.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a dog in a fight as far as what you name your child. You know?
All I know is from real world situations, you are identified and targeted.
That's fine.
So.
And then I'm going to go on to my next point because I don't see any more comments unless you have something to say, Donovan. Okay, so my second point is we need to get, now this is kind of ties into this a little bit, into your point.
Okay.
We need to get back to the point to where we weren't afraid to raise and even discipline other people's children, and of course our own. And we didn't get mad about it either. Now, I remember, I told you this story once before, my mother said that she had got sassy with one of the ladies around the corner in the neighborhood when she was a small child. And the lady slapped her. You know, let me get smart with me, and slapped the gum out of her mouth. And so she went home. And her mama had got wind of it and said, oh, you got smart with such and so? And she said she got it then, too. Her mama didn't go taking off down the neighborhood. Who slapped you? Who
Without
did?
knowing the facts.
But even then, you know, she was like, okay, she took her word for it. You was getting smart. She slapped you. Now come on in here and get your butt whooped. You know. So we held each other accountable. We needed to get to that point. And
get back to that point.
Right, and that's partially, not all, but that's partially how our neighborhoods got the way they are behavioral-wise, because we stopped raising, not all of us, but we stopped raising the kids. And I say this all the time. Back in the day, black children and black mothers, the way they raised their children, groomed their children, all that were like the envy of everybody. Which is why white people were like, you know what? As we saw in The Color Purple. I like the way your children looked and nice and clean.
Would you like to come work for me?
Right. That's why because we took pride in our children. They might have wore the same dress over and over again, but they weren't filthy. They weren't dirty. We took pride in our children. So we got to get back to a point to where we can, with love, of course, we don't be beating up on people's kids because they walked on your grass. But we got to get back to the point with love where we can correct each other without being in fear of, now I'm not saying unto that child because her mama going to come down here and it's going to be a whole nightmare. So just let them keep fighting or whatever the case is. Now, Donovan brought up a point about, you guys have probably seen this picture trending around the internet where there was a young girl who, she was going to prom, to say the least. She's going to
She's
prom.
Going, going to prom or she's going to the strip club. It's one or the other.
Yeah, and this dress that she had on, it was like a negligee, and she's going to prom. Now, I don't know how serious that photo was, but, you know.
She had drawers on, y'all.
The caption said that she was going to the prom. Now, this is how I would say, you know, we hold each other responsible in regards to that. Okay, like me and Donovan was talking about this earlier. Let's say her mama's stupid. Evidently, her mama's stupid, and I don't like to throw the word stupid around liberally, but evidently her mama is stupid. If she thought that was a good idea to let her child go to the prom like that, her daddy's stupid, her auntie and everybody who was there taking pictures, they're all stupid. But I just love to believe that once she got to the door, in fact, the little boy whose mama and daddy let him go to the prom with her is stupid. Mm-hmm. But I would like to believe that whoever was taking tickets at the door was not stupid and said, you got one or two choices. You either not come in here or you go put on some clothes. Mm-hmm. You know, but to me, it's just sad to know that nobody thought that was, you know, worthy of holding somebody accountable. Like, hey, you know, Miss Jenkins, you think your daughter should be going to the prom like that? You know, but we got to get to that point. And so let me get to some of you guys' comments. I apologize. I don't know why I keep freezing up, you guys.
Or, you know, let's look at it from a safety standpoint. This girl's going to the prom looking like that. God forbid if she nothing happens to her, but God forbid she gets assaulted. Whose fault is it at that point?
It's the person that assaulted her's fault, because yes. I don't care if she went to the prom.
Right, no, exactly. Right? But I'm just saying, though, that she isn't helping her situation. I'm not saying she's at fault.
No. I know the point you're getting at, but the reason why I just like to say, regardless of what a person is wearing, and specifically we're talking about a woman.
It's how you carry yourself.
Well, it's how you carry yourself, but a woman could walk down the street butt naked, and she should never cause you to become uncivilized in regarding her. Now, of course, you're going to look, but it should never make you do anything to her that you wouldn't ordinarily do.
But if you're in a war-type environment of the hood, or where you got these, you know...
But, you know, and again, too, not to give you, you know, a lot of flack, but I think we also make the assumption that the hood is overall bad.
No, we're not making it. It's dangerous.
Not some parts of it, but there are a lot of decent people who live there.
No, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, though, there's no way I would let my nieces, my daughter, leave the house.
And there's no way you should.
Looking like that.
Exactly. And then so...
even in a white neighborhood, because you know the white boys will be on it.
Well, on Mars, you shouldn't be letting nobody walk around like that. And Cindy says, just wait to 2022, the South Bronx, my bad, is now called Sobro. Apartments will be going for $5G a month.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
But again,
prime real estate.
That's where all the money is. $5,000 a month. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
I can pay that twice. You know, so that's where the money is, you guys.
Wherever you live, they're going to give you the medium income to live in that area.
Absolutely. $5,000.
But technically, you're not getting a raise because you're just living.
Well, I guess the point that I'm making, too, the people who can afford that's where the money is. It's the people who practice group economics. Right. It's the people that we give nearly $1.3 trillion to. They're like, thank you, sucker. Now I'm going to go give me an apartment for $5,000 a month.
Right, but it's like us being workers. If you're just a worker bee here, you don't practice group economics, like I said, they can give us all the raise you want, $15 more in my paycheck. But if they jack the gas up 60% without me voting on it, that's not helping me when I'm commuting to LA every day. That's a big, significant tax on me, and I'm just living. I'm not making anything.
And then Sydney says the community ass whooping. Yes, to allow that to go on. And El Malika says, and she was the sweetest. Who was that? I forget. You said, and she looked non-prom like and being nice. Are you talking about the girl that in the picture? Who are we talking about? And I apologize for that. And I used to know. He says, I know you might disagree. But most black young men today act like single mothers. Most black young men act.
I agree. They have the mentality of the mother.
Oh, got it. Okay, because I was confused.
Yes.
Like, okay, wow.
They don't want to keep their mouths closed. They want to have the last word. They're very feminized. I agree, brother.
I agree with that. However, where they daddies at?
That's a good question. But who selected they daddies?
Nah, brother.
Who selected the daddies?
Nah.
But you're right.
Where they daddies at?
Where the daddies at?
Are their daddies as effeminate as well? I mean, what's going on with
I don't
that?
know, but and you bring up a good point. Like I said, I have my nephew in the next room right now. Even though his daddy's not physically here, I've stepped in
as his father figure
to
absolutely
do what I got to do.
And Allie says, my coworker has a daughter whose first name has 10 letters in it. That's a damn ghetto shame. You know what? y'all ain't gonna let it go. Cindy says, if a woman in Brazil can walk naked and not get raped, women in the States can do it here. Absolutely. And
Okay, go ahead and try that.
Well, I mean,
no, in theory, yes.
Listen,
you're right.
You ain't going to no court of law and say, well, Your Honor, she was naked.
Yeah, but the point is, it's also a crime to walk naked in public.
Yeah, but you can't go to if you both have dirty hands.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
There's
say
no
I
case.
raped her because she was naked.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she committed a crime, but that didn't give you a pass to rape.
No, absolutely not, and I will never say that.
I know that.
mean, but however, again, what parent would let their child leave the house looking like that?
A fool.
Yeah.
And then Cindy says, "Used to know, I do not disagree with you." Okay, I mean, I forgot what we were talking about. I was trying to think. You said, "Oh, black single mothers."
Let me see what's in your cup. Let me see what's in your cup.
It's just ice. Just
That's
ice.
a strong smelling vodka ice.
Yeah, right. I guess I could see that. You know, when you have, I would just say this: black mothers are very influential.
Yes.
We are. And I just feel like if you're gonna teach your children something, teach them something they can use.
Right.
You know. I had, like I said, when I was working at that after school program for 2 hot seconds, because I couldn't do it, y'all. I tapped out. I saw a lot of little boys who act like that. And I just knew they were behaving like their mothers. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my mama. You can't tell me what to do. Stop talking to me. And these are little boys talking like that. And I was like,
damn.
God, really? I just asked you to go sit down. I didn't.
When I was a little boy and they told me to shut the fuck up, I just shut the fuck up.
You know what was you doing that was so bad?
No, but you know what I mean? When another man or somebody tells you that now, when you tell a kid shut the fuck up.
You don't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
You ain't my daddy.
Right. And that's all part of being a young boy. Remember you were growing up, boys, we always got in trouble.
I put a meme up yesterday when it says when white mothers, when the company comes over, they tell the kids, go play in your room now. Mm-hmm. But when black mamas had company come over, they just give you the eye and you like, going, put up the Baptist finger, I'm out of here.
No, that was in our day. Nowadays, the kids just sit there right there in the room with you.
Right. And we need to do a better job at that because your mama tell you, don't be looking at my mouth. Get out of here. And you know, he says, in jail for strong arm robbery. Who's in jail for strong arm robbery? I must be missing a whole lot of stuff. Maybe I'm drinking some vodka or something.
Yeah, I think your meds are running out.
There's something going on. And then Jonelle, you say, when we stop supporting their lavish lifestyle via our consuming their products and supporting their businesses and do that for our own, those homes will be ours. We as a black nation rise up into, rise up into our own state of thinking. All will be transformed as it's being gradually. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Like it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. Why? Listen. Mm-hmm. If somebody has a black business, why to see your ass over there and spend some black dollars?
Right. And if you have a problem with how they're running the business, let them know that.
Right. Which is, another point that I have. And let me get to you guys' comments. Hey, Arson, where you been? You late. I'm just playing. He said the thing is, walking around dressed however we want could pass easier in certain areas of Africa, Brazil, or whatever other places. But the fact is, this is not a part of the culture in North America. So, absolutely, yeah, in Africa, it's like, hey, bam.
But they know who they are.
Right, but it's not sexualized that you don't have a lot of clothes on.
Right.
It's just, hey, how you doing? You know? And nobody got clothes. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. About to go fry some chicken. Naked and everything.
Like I said, I've been banned from all kinds of beaches wearing my Speedos. I draw too much attention to myself.
I'm not even going to touch that because I had so many things I could have said, but I just take your word for
okay, there you go. Right on.
And Cindy says, I'm about to tap out of Amazon. I see it there. The women are more like men. The young kids, women talking raunchy. then they get reported. Never heard of this before. Yeah, it's just there's no respect.
No filter.
It's terrible. It's awful, awful. You know, my daughter's 25, and I always tell her, you know, and behind closed doors, you want to curse or whatever, great.
Yeah, know when to do it.
Yeah, but we just not gonna be in the Walmart, hey mother, and all this.
Right.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Or you're in her presence and she's just acting like that.
Yeah.
That's very disrespectful.
Right. And then Alex says, hey Donovan, I graduated with a guy who had a ghetto name that has 4 E's and 3 A's in his name. He told me people have always had trouble pronouncing his name. Once he became an adult, he wised up and let's see. Damn it. Trying to see more. Oops.
You're trying to
I'm trying to block Al, huh? That's what he said, wise up and change that stupid. What did he say? Well, I mean, you know, to each his own.
Yeah, I mean, so sometimes you have to do that, especially if you want things, or you want to be part of corporate America. You're not going to a black major company. There's not a lot of black major companies in the United States.
I mean, hell, to that point, even if some of y'all name y'all children Mufasa, you ain't getting no job in the company. Right. So it's like either way, you screwed.
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying from my personal experience, I've seen that they target.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we're not dealing with this person.
Right.
We're not dealing with that person. So.
And then let's see, somebody says.
Because I honestly think I got selected for the board because my name at the time was Donovan Patrick Malloy, so they thought I was somebody else.
They thought your ass was Irish or something.
Until I walked up.
And Houston always said they use systematic slavery to destroy fathers and the manhood of fathers, first destroying jobs, using welfare and child support to replace discipline and strong arm robbery is child support. Yep. No, absolutely. That helped dilapidate the neighborhoods as well. Girl, you don't need him.
And the family.
Get this check, y'all.
You know. You don't need us, but yet you're still 16, 25 years in the same situation instead of getting out of it.
Right. And I agree with you guys on the child support issue. I think that in some ways it is strong arm robbery, but I think, you know, if you got a child out there and you know you're not living with it, it needs things, just pay up. This is why I have to have somebody, because I'm not against somebody, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm not against you going to taking a person to the system if they're just not helping you.
Right.
I mean, but just do what you're supposed to do.
Do what you're supposed to do. Be selective of who you're. You know, number one, don't be having kids with just anybody.
But that fact that I had kids with just anybody, that anybody had kids with me too.
Right.
And so it is raising these kids ain't shit.
And everybody makes a mistake, but when you're making the same mistake over and over again,
then you're stupid.
Yeah. You know. It's a rough situation, but we brought that on ourselves, and we can change that narrative.
And we just got to keep getting the word out, brother. Right. Getting the word out. And then Arsani says, laugh out loud, but he said LOL, and I said what he was saying was, I'm reading that as I'm saying it as I'm reading. He says, the co-host got jokes today, talking about having been banned from all sorts of beaches. Ain't he something? You ain't lying, he got jokes. By the way, you were right. I was late indeed. I tried to say nothing, but you mentioned it anyway. I'm very observant that way, okay? Very observant. And Jonelle says, black mothers are the first dictatorship.
Yes.
The first structure of leadership, for example, Afeni Shakur, Tupac, and others are just an example. There will be no great man without a great mother in harmony. Oops. Trying to block Jonelle too. It's the Seymour thing. That's without great harmony with the supreme being, with her being, they fear the black woman connected to the root of the truth, as in Revelation. Now, absolutely, if you destroy the black mother, get her thinking that Atlanta Housewives is where she should be at every
looking
week,
like a clown.
in Donovan's words, looking like a clown, and doing clownish things, then you know. That's where all the education and knowledge and everything stops. And then, of course, she spreads that to her children. For example, making her daughter think it's okay to go to the prom with your underwear showing. Ass
hanging out.
You know, that's what you get. Hey, Joyce, what's happening? And Cindy says, Donovan, surprised you are not in Facebook jail. Give him time. and Joe, now speaking of Facebook jail, Jonelle, like I said, they don't desire that man of God connected to that God-fearing woman, raising that child in principle and truth. The government watched Tupac from the womb to the tomb. In fact, yes, the FBI was responsible, I believe, in some things that I saw and I read for Tupac's death. If you guys believe, you know, they want y'all to think that, you know, Biggie
well, that's in everything. I mean,
was running
MLK, I mean, all the black leaders, the ones that were very much a threat.
Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover had that list of those guys. Bob Marley was on the list.
You're on the list.
Well, no.
For wearing that damn Speedo.
Yeah, at the beach. And my friend Linda is online, and that's when I went to the Spring Aquaphor thing. Up
in Atlanta?
In Hesperia.
Oh, Hesperia. Hey, Linda.
In Hesperia. And
nice video, by the way.
Yes, and my ankles are hurting still now. I can
Nobody tell you to wear no ankle weights in the
I didn't know.
mountain
I
climbing.
had no clue, but I had a great time. It was a great experience. So if you guys
should wear your Speedo instead.
Well, I couldn't do that because then the gully would have gone black.
Oh, God.
So, but no, if you guys ever get a chance to do things like that, I mean, it's the small things. It only costs $5.
Speaking of the small things, you should have wore your Speedo. Okay, we're going to leave Donovan's Speedo alone. Okay, and so Sydney says, why the government got to tell me how and when to support my child is disgusting.
Yeah.
The government don't have to tell you that, brother. Mm-hmm. I know, you don't have no kids and nothing like that. The government don't got to tell you that. And I agree, but the question is, to your point, why they got to tell you that? Mm-hmm. Just write the check, make a deposit, whatever you got to do. But then again, like I said, I agree with both sides of the child support issue because I know that there's a lot of mamas out there, no matter what conclusion you come to, they are going to want more money.
Right, and then you got to think about that too. A lot of these young men in the generation that are part of our generation, a little bit behind us, were raised by their moms, so they've got that woman mentality of they're unaccountable. They don't want to be held accountable for the actions that they did.
Right, and then you got the man all up in my business.
Right, and that's where the confusion comes in. So, but when I point that out, saying that, everybody's accountable for what they do, these young men do not want to be accountable because their mother was not held accountable for what they did.
All right. And Al says, what's the difference between Batman and a black man in the ghetto? Batman can go to the corner store without robbing.
I'm going to write that down.
I'll write that shit down. And yes, Al is a mess. I just want y'all to know that.
And that is your man.
He's a mess, yeah. And so my third point is, since I don't see any more comments, it says, making sure that we are all, and I put an emphasis on all, okay financially. It's all of our responsibilities. We need to be practicing group economics or black economics if we're ever going to come from the bottom of the totem pole. Like Dr. Claude Anderson, his 5 levels or points or whatever as far as business, politics, courts, and police, media, and education. We need to get control of all of that, and we get control of all of that by practicing group economics, keeping our money in our community longer than 6 hours, stop giving 97% of our income away. That's how we do it, and so that's how we make sure that we are all okay financially.
Okay.
All right? Now, for example, and I just said this earlier, if your black brothers and sisters have a business, you should make it your duty to support them. And the converse is true. If we have black businesses, we should make it our duty to provide excellent customer service and products and other services. It's a two-way street because somebody will say, well, I tried to go to this black business, but they got to tripping. They was out of napkins. And so I'm going to kill them on Facebook, and I'm going to tell everybody not to go there. But as I use this analogy all the time, but you're going to go to Taco Bell every time they forgot to give you some hot sauce. But you ain't getting on social media talking about that Taco Bell over there on 5th Street is tripping.
Or they give you the squirts.
Ugh. In Speedos.
Yeah. You still patronize the...
We got to do that. Like, let's stop being so dead to where we make excuses not to help each other. We make excuses not to do business with each other. There's no such thing as... Now, listen, I'm not saying if it's just stupid, to continue going in there. But if, like I said, if they forgot to give you a fork, you ain't got to do the extra.
Right. I'm going to give you a real-life example. We have an air show this weekend right here at March Air Reserve Base. Okay. Now, in one day, 250,000 people showed up. That was last year. Now, this year, I think it was like a little lower than that. Yeah. But still, on the weekend as a whole, for 2 days of work, you're looking at least 400,000 people in the area. Ask me how many black businesses have actually participated at the air show.
How many black businesses have participated at the air
show? I think it was under 20. Under 20, which is okay, but
bad.
But,
I didn't know we even had 20 businesses in the area.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
all these they all could have gone out there
Right.
and sat and made a killing
Right.
in a couple of days.
Okay, next year,
Okay.
we're gonna bust out your Speedo, and then we're gonna open up a business where you can, entertain.
The top model and
people.
top everything, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'll call it Top Gun.
All right. And then
No,
Cindy
but
said-
but I'm just saying, business wise,
Yeah.
we don't participate in. Oh, that's white thing. Forget it's business.
Right.
So forget that. Somebody's calling.
Donovan is getting a call from Butt Naked Boom Quisha
Gordon.
on Messenger. Ooh.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, right. And Cindy says, "Damn, Donovan." And he also say, "How do we make everyone accountable?" Well, a lot of times we think I need to go out and save the world. I need to go out there and preach to the masses instead of just talking to your kids in the house. Husband and wives talk to each other. You got a neighbor? Hey, can I holler at you for a minute? Let me run this by you. We start holding each other accountable by starting it with our own house. We start holding our own household accountable. Then everything else will take care of ourselves. But we can't keep sending ourselves and our children out into the world with no knowledge of self, ill behavior and all of that kind. We got to start holding each other accountable. That's where it starts. I have a lot of people saving the world, and then you hear about their own kids. Like a good example of that was Ray Lewis. That's the one that was running around stabbing people in football. Well, he got found out guilty or whatever. He get the charges.
Yeah.
But he was running around castigating black people, and then his son get caught up on like some rape charges and stuff. It's like, how do you get off? Like, maybe you need to clean up your own household before you go out there telling everybody
You got to be a
else.
Christian and all that good stuff.
Right. And so Al says, Al Jack's joke of the day.
There it is. Here we go.
If two vegans are in a ghetto store arguing and fighting, do they have beef? No, fun. No, because we're very docile people. We don't eat blood, so therefore we don't have this rage. We're calm. You know what? You were here first. Go ahead. No, I insist. Hey, Walter. That's my brother. Don't tell nobody. He says, having money in the bank and investments is true swag. Done with nigger rich. That's the title of one of his upcoming books, you guys. And no, absolutely. That is, I mean, we could change the world, but we can't change it with no money, right? We can complain about not owning the neighborhood, but we can't complain if we don't pool our money together in order to buy the neighborhood. So, I mean, it's money. Listen, don't ever let nobody tell you that money ain't nothing.
Right.
Money makes the world go round, and it makes blood pressure go down. You like that? Money makes the world go round, and it makes your blood pressure go down.
When you got it.
Right. And Houston Obi says a woman can be on Section 8 welfare week. How do they feel they are supporting their children? Donovan?
I'm not saying nothing. I'll let you finish.
Nothing.
I'll let you finish.
How do they feel they're supporting their children? The system is the father. Can be a better provider. The best interest of the child is with the father. CPS has, let's see more. Oh, well, let me do that. Let's see more. Hundreds of cases of abuse and still won't give up the child in fear of losing a check. Well, absolutely, and we saw that with a little, what's the baby?
I forgot her name, but there's been a lot of cases now where these babies are ending up
Anaya Day.
Yeah. A lot of these babies are ending up being killed by the parents involved.
And the father in that situation was fighting desperately to get his child. He was saying that she was being abused, and unfortunately the mama and her boyfriend murdered the child by beating her to death.
And there's been 2 cases this weekend alone that has broken out.
It's crazy, but I absolutely agree. I mean, you are not an independent individual if you got those things taken care of you. And Cindy says, I left majority of the groups. You're talking about the conscious groups? That makes 2 of us. And Al says, I want to play, and I heard these words. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a rat, not a mouse, but a rat. The play was in the ghetto. You lying? The play was in the ghetto. Let's see. The play was in the ghetto. You know what? You need to log yourself off. Yes. There's something severely wrong with Al. Well, I haven't figured it out yet, but we gonna get down to the bottom of it.
But you still gonna give him a chance, though.
I've given him a chance.
Okay.
And the last thing I have on this list is that we need to start loving, respecting, teaching, edifying, and caring for each other. That is also our responsibility to each other. How can you say you do those things for yourself and you won't do those things for someone else? You know, we got to get past the point of just simply talking about each other. Look at her over there. She just ratchet, she ghetto, and this, that, and the other. And that black man over there. We got to start speaking light and love into each other. A lot of people, believe it or not, have never really had somebody else, let alone their mama and their daddy, speak positively, you know, to them.
But at the same time, do what I did. I take the more negative I did, I love to mush it back in people's face and do the opposite.
Well, now you say mush it back in people's face. Are you talking about your Speedo?
No. Well, that too, if need be. If need be.
I'm not going to let Donovan live his Speedo down.
If need be. But what I'm saying is, you know, sometimes, you know, you take that negative and prove them wrong.
Am I still having technical issues, you guys? I know I was freezing up a little bit. Sometimes people try to send me texts and stuff like that.
We're doing a show. We got time for all that.
Hopefully I'm not freezing up anymore. But yeah, I don't know if I froze up on the part where we said we need to start loving and caring for each other and speaking life to one another. You know, as I said this last week, it's okay to speak to each other.
Absolutely.
Hey, sister, how you doing? Hey, brother, how you doing? And it's okay for somebody to speak to you while you walking to your man, with your man, without you thinking, why are you speaking to my man? You know her.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows. Yeah, there's a lot of shows you can watch. You can YouTube them. I just ran across this other one. It's called Deadly Obsession.
Okay, gotcha.
And it shows where these women and, you know, men, or, you know, they meet up a person, and the person becomes obsessed with them for some reason, you know, or whatever, and it just becomes a bad relationship or whatever. And but check these shows out, because these are real stories that are actually happening to people, and maybe you can learn something. What I tell my nieces all the time, and I tell my nephews, and then ask questions when you meet somebody. Ask questions. Trust but verify.
Ask questions.
You know, I'm a Fortune 500 guy. Okay, where do you work again? Well, what building is that? You know,
Acme Inc.
Yeah, you know, you're at Chase Bank. Which Chase Bank? You know, verify.
How much you got in?
Right.
You want them to know how much they got in the bank account?
Well, it's not even that. If he's claiming to be some kind of executive, you know, in my example, I work for Chase. I do commodity broking. Right. Okay, well, go and verify.
Well, and to that point too, we heard of another case where another little black girl lost her life because her stepfather, the little girl was 3. Her stepfather punched her in the stomach so hard that her intestines exploded. They said. In addition, they said they found a lot of old wounds, and they believe she was sexually abused. Now, to your point about asking questions, this man had a criminal background.
Right.
5 charges running with the law, and one of them was he did a stint for attempted murder.
Right.
Now,
but she still gave him a chance.
Not only that, but she let this man into her home where she had a child by somebody else, and then she had another child with this man. And so she gets on Facebook and says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I wasn't there to protect you, and, you know, all this other stuff. But it's like,
your children come before anything
the protection
else.
came when you could have asked questions. I see my lipstick is running. The question should have came when, you know, but the protection rather should have came when you said, okay, you cute and everything. Yeah, you got it going on, but I just want to see your credentials and where you've been, because I got babies and I can't just let you around them like that until I check you out.
Right, and that's good too. But the thing is, if you have children by another man and you're dating another man, that man should nowhere be near, unless you're married to him, staying over at your house. You should be staying with him.
Or and leaving your children home alone with some
this
dude.
Guy,
right. And I mean, like, what would cause you to punch a baby in her stomach so hard to where you kill her? I mean, But I blame the dude. I'm not saying I don't blame him, but that's all the mama. They need to lock her ass up.
But when you open the door and let a predator in,
they need to lock her ass up too.
Exactly.
And then and Cindy said the problem is we don't know how to communicate with each other. We need to learn how to do that.
That's because unfortunately, in our society today, women have bought in, especially black women, that they are equal to a man, which to me that doesn't make any sense. You'll never be equal to me because we have different parts. I personally believe women are superior physically because you guys give birth, things that we cannot do.
You're damn right.
So, but they bought into all this stuff to where, it's like, to me, it's almost like a mental case.
Okay.
Because you're saying you're a strong, independent black woman, but yet you're on the system.
Well,
or you need my child support, or you need, whatever. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely, and that was by design as well. And I'm not saying that we are, as women, are absolved of responsibility for that, but that was all by design.
I saw a girl with orange hair, sister. She could have been at least about 33, 35. Orange hair, and we're supposed to take her seriously? It's a mental illness.
Oh God. And then he says, in fact, I pick Al's brain. I'll pick Al's brains if he doesn't mind. Go right ahead. And then Walter say, hey Donovan, I have an idea for attractive under the provocative. Or I guess he's saying he has a provocative idea. Is what he's trying to say.
All right.
I'm scared.
I'm always open for that.
And then Sydney says, they should punch that man in the stomach hard too in jail, and somewhere else they need to punch him.
But they need to hold the mother accountable as well.
Oh yeah, I think she needs to go to the clink too. Go on, that's
your
man. You was vouching for him when you brought him in the house.
Yeah, I understand. You got to get your freak on and stuff. But when you have children, you have a responsibility to those children first. You need to get your freak on. Go to that man's spot. But guess what? He probably didn't have a spot.
Like this. To me, you have them knowing that he has some anger issues or some aggression. To where he would do, like, what could this poor baby have done to make him that mad to do that to her? If
I came up to you and said, yeah, I just did a stint in prison and I just told you that, why would you even consider dating me?
I mean, I wouldn't. Like I said, as a single woman, you do what you want to do, but when you have children, it's like,
My cousin says, orange hair is beautiful. Stop it! Stop! If you're 22, 25 when you're young, yes, that's what younger people do. But when you're a grown woman, no, that's not cute.
Okay. And Al says that man hurt that baby that should get the death penalty immediately. I mean, I totally agree. And Arsani says, unfortunately, I do not want to pick a side here between the black customers and the black businesses, but because both should work on their behaviors. Sure. But I do believe that in the end, responsibility is. My little see more button is tripping. Okay, here we go. Responsibility is first to the business. It has to show the example and give exceptional customer service to absolutely anybody. Professionalism. Sure. I do not believe that the customers will, with me, correct themselves. The other way around might not work. I do know for the USA, but I do not know about the USA, but up here in Canada, many Caribbean businesses really take their customers for granted. Well, yeah, and my younger brother also says, just because you have a black business, that doesn't mean you don't have to earn my business. You still got to earn my business.
Thank you.
Don't think just because we black, I can keep coming up in there. You talking about IES? Welcome to Bertha's Chicken Shack, but today we out of chicken.
Right.
You can't keep doing that, or what can I get you? Mm-hmm. I agree. The onus is on the business because ultimately you're going to be making money from that. But again. Not to say I need to be putting up with some bad, customers either. Get out. I'm just playing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Walter says, underwear called the provocative. I think you're talking about Donovan's Speedo.
Yeah, my Speedo.
I don't know how provocative it was, though. I wasn't there, And used to know says, most black women don't respect the black man, but will bow down to the white man as long.
Thank you. Yes. Let me get a clap on that. Yes. Somebody, they're telling the truth.
Is you done?
I'm done. Wait, mic drop.
I would like to say some.
Some.
Not most.
Most.
No.
Most.
Some.
Most.
Some.
Most.
Not most.
There's something wrong when you hear a kid says, my grandma's boyfriend will be here in 5 minutes. There's something wrong with that.
Is the mama boyfriend white?
I said the grandmama.
The grandma.
That's prevalent in our community. That's my grandma's boyfriend.
Is used to know really like your second account?
No, it's not.
Is that a troll? Are you a troll?
It's a bot. Yeah, it's a bot.
We don't agree with Donovan here. We take him to task. We rake him over the coals. Even if he's wearing that Speedo, we rake him over the coals around here.
You don't know how traumatized I was to be banned from beaches because I can't wear my Speedo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was at that hot spring water, And they had these hippie type white guys. I mean, they had nothing on, and I was like, "Oh my god, their junk is just hanging out." I'm just like, "No, I won't be doing that." So,
I'm gonna leave that alone completely.
it's an experience. If you haven't done it, do it.
We'll talk about that on Tuesday's show.
Yes.
And the city says the question you must ask Donovan: who taught her how to use a mate? Use a mate. I forgot what we were talking about.
Use a mate. Oh, you mean who taught her how to pick a mate?
Oh, how to pick a mate is what you're saying?
Most likely, being a woman, she's going to get a lot of tips from other women. That's what I would allege, if that's what we're talking about.
I'm about to say, I froze up. I don't know. I think somebody might be sending me a text.
Yeah, see, we're fine here. So
message.
So.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm freezing up right there.
But we're doing good. This has been the Gentrification Show. We'll catch you guys again next
Bye,
week.
podcast.
And check us out on YouTube and Facebook. D is doing live 3 p.m. every Sunday, you guys. Check us out. We'll see you then.
That was a podcast, you guys. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I am freezing up a little bit. You used to know with that comment. It was your comment that froze up this. I'm just playing. And Sydney, okay, so I said that. Well, taught her how to choose a mate, I think he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably
other females.
Her mama.
Mm-hmm.
She probably watched her mama choose,
I'm not saying everybody that goes to prison is a bad person, but I'm just saying you got to ask these questions. You can't just say after your child is dead, wow, I should have done a better vetting process. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. And like I said, y'all, I apologize for freezing up. I don't know what's going on. I truly don't. Let's see. It's really freezing.
You got a lot of people on your network.
And then let's see. I'm sorry. Shelly, you say, do you know most black women used to know? Yeah. Answer the question. Do you know most black women? And our song says the mother does deserve to do time. We should make an example out of her. As for that guy, I still can't get over the possibility to even think of to pretend like it was a part of. Let's see. Oops. Okay, a part of the realm of possibilities that I would ever even swing toward a baby or a child. I hope he goes inside and doesn't make it out. I hope that as well. You guys, I really don't know why it's freezing up like that. I think I'm probably...
Well, remember, it's the base, too. You got a lot of radar signatures.
Tell those airplanes to go away. It's my time now. They have to base the whole weekend.
All weekend. Unfortunately, this is what we talk about in the black community. The black woman and women in general are not held accountable to anything. You can't tell them anything.
Well, we need to change that. And
And
not all, but some. We need to change that because I don't know. I just like in the case of the little baby that was punched in the stomach, it's like, I don't know. You could have been raised by a pack of wolves. Mm-hmm. And we made this point once before. Sure. Even animals do a great job at protecting their young. Mm-hmm. I don't know why anybody would think that's okay to bring somebody in there that would have the propensity to perhaps murder your child.
Right.
Right.
I mean, again, if this ain't your fiance and somebody that you're futurely married, you keep that person at a distance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So.
And then Al says, my brain can't be picked because I'm off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You on some shrooms or not today?
Oh, man.
I know
my good friend Missy has joined the watching us. And then
he says, I agree with him, but not on the draws.
They're Speedos. They're not draws. Okay, sorry.
I blame Donovan, too, for the technical issues.
Yeah. You guys don't know how hard it is to fold over.
Fold over what?
Think about it.
I'm not thinking about
I
that.
gotta fold over. What a great show today. We've been doing what a great show. So.
Am I still freezing, you guys?
Again, for those of you guys that are watching, we're in a green screen environment booth. If you watch our videos, we'll put
after that comment. We are in the nut house. Okay, this ain't no green screen. It has transformed into the nut house. The hell. So anyway, we are right at the time. Maybe it's freezing because it's like we need you to freeze your mouth now. Mm-hmm. It's time to get off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cindy says, "Wait, what?"
Anyway, look. Are you going to be doing any things this week? Can we find you at the It's Hot in Here show? Are you still directing?
Well, you're supposed to be telling people I'm going to be at the strip club.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Yes. I'm going to be I don't know if I'm going to be on the show. I work behind the scenes of another show.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be on that show, but I'll definitely be there.
Okay.
I'm also going to, I don't know if Richard is still on here. He asked me to do his podcast, so I can't wait to do that. In addition to our podcast that we do on Tuesday, where Donovan maybe he'll wear a Speedo this week.
No, I don't think y'all are ready for that. But we have to also do Lynn Cooper's.
Okay, we got to hook up with him
and do that and just have him.
And Walter said he wanted to be on that show too.
Oh, wait, him and Lynn Cooper?
Yeah, that would be pretty dope. And then we just sit back and just drink.
Oh, and let them go at it.
We just not go at it, but give us the
the knowledge. Yeah, absolutely.
And we just drink Hennessy and watch.
There you go.
I'm playing. I don't drink. Hey, Benny. He said all these things are completely unachievable on all levels without the mental construction. A reconstruction of our people. First, there is simply no way around it. We will and have had many valiant attempts based on a lot of individual success that will lead us to think that we are actually mentally ready to achieve these goals as a whole without mental reconstruction first. Absolutely. We have to deprogram ourselves from, as someone say, slave thinking, being dead, all of that. We have to change, and we have to change the way we see ourselves. You know? We have to stop seeing ourselves as something less than, and I have to stop seeing you as something less than. You keep putting that Speedo on, I'm going to see you as something less than. But we got to stop seeing ourselves in negative light. We got to know that we are, and it used to be, and potentially can be again, kings and queens and mighty and great and all that stuff. I love from you what I love for myself.
Absolutely.
If I'm eating vegetables, I want you to be eating vegetables.
Right. Don't take the last drumstick in the chicken.
Oh, God. Don't get Donovan. Okay. Oh, Lord. That's a whole other show. And then Cindy says, you've been in jail, Donovan. Have you been in jail?
On one of my pages, I have like 5 different pages I do. One of them, which is the hot seat, they put me in jail for that one I was posting. They said they thought I was posting spam, the bullshit they keep saying.
It's black stuff.
Yeah. So.
And then Cindy says, what other show? It's called It's Hot in Here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to tag myself in it, you guys, so you guys can see it.
Right.
Tomorrow is going to be some excellent advice. It's a financial show. It's going to be, I was talking to this person, and listen, I know a lot about life insurance, but they hit me on to something I had no idea that even existed. It could revolutionize the way we see the way we do things. Okay, so I'm going to tag myself in that so you guys can see it tomorrow. And Walter says, hell yes.
Yeah, and I'll tag everybody in on my thing if you're interested in checking it out.
And Kemet to Son says hi. And I know I jacked that up. What do they say in church? Don't charge it to my mind, no heart, but charge it to my mind.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And we'll have the video up by Tuesday.
We're going to let Donovan go and put a Speedo on when I leave, of course, and, he can let it all.
Well, I live by myself, so I like to free ball it.
Nobody needed to know that. Absolutely nobody needed to know that, okay? So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next week, and as I said, I will tag myself in the show so you guys can get the good information.
Yes, and check us out on Tuesdays. We're going to be talking about some serious stuff.
What's up, Africans? This is what he says. And what's up?
Yeah, we're going to talk about some serious stuff on Tuesday. A lot of political stuff is coming down the pipe. They are one step closer to indicting a lot of Trump's people, and even getting close to Trump himself.
We're going to see. We're going to talk about all of that. So yeah, you guys please stay tuned. Stay awesome, wise, knowledgeable,
and safe,
and stay black.
Amen.
Stay black. I will see you guys next week.
Peace.